How do you want to be remembered?
I think I'm already in that stage.
Well, now we're going to cement it.
No, I am
like
remembered.
200 years ago, 200 years
Well,
from now.
already now, there's a lot of generations that don't know me, except, of course, thank goodness for the 2 feature films that are shown on television, like Gharam Fil Karnak was shown this year maybe 15 times on the television. So people are knowing us from the 2 feature films.
Yeah.
But because we were government, and because the television was government, so they used to come and photograph us for free, and then all the heritage of Reda Troop that's documented is lost. It's just thrown away, it's wiped, it's stolen, So the heritage in the television, for 20, 30 years they were photographed in the shows with Nasser and Sadat and all this. If they lose it, they steal it, they wipe it, it's gone. So thank goodness for the 2 feature films, and people are remembering us from these 2 feature films. But I can say that 4 years ago, I think about 4 years ago, I was in the supermarket, and the old women my age or younger, they recognized me, and they come to me and they cry. I don't know why everybody cries. That's something that happens all the time, even with my guests from various countries. And when I give a class, they're crying, and when I talk, they're crying. So, no, I think I'm already being remembered. But at least if the history is written right and it's not played around with, there is a remembrance that there is a woman who was able at one time, through her dance and through the people around her and through the Reda Troop, was able to show that you can be a dancer, and you can be from a good family, and you can be educated and refined. And that art, that dance, it was at that point, at that time in history, was a fine art. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't easy, because you cannot suddenly come to history, to years and generations and centuries of looking at dance as a bad thing, and then suddenly, wow, no, you can be, and look, she's dancing in the theater, and people in the audience is sitting, and the President Nasser gave her an honorary, what's it called?
Like award?
Oh, yeah, we all had an award. So that's one thing. It's going to be like this. It's going to remain like this.
Do you think when people like me or foreigners come to see you, or any of the ladies in the supermarket, and they're crying just to see you, why do you think they're crying?
Yeah. A lot of people now call that time when we were dancing, and Abdul Halim was singing, and Kulthum, and we had the best painters. This is one of the best painters in Egypt. This is one of the best painters in Egypt. We had the best painters, the best writers, the best songwriters, the best singers, the best films, the best schools. Everything was really good. Mm-hmm. And people know that. Mm-hmm. So they call out this time, this epoch or this time, they call it the beautiful times. So even on television, when a man talks about, and now we're going to show you a film from the beautiful times, or now, so we are the people who belong to the beautiful times. And so that's what they tell me. When I go to a shop, and the man says, "Oh, Madame Farida, welcome to the beautiful times." Isn't that sad? So all the times, the 60s and 70s, and late 50s are called the beautiful times.
But I think for Egyptians, this is true, but I think for foreigners, when they see you and they cry? I think there's more to it than that. Don't you think?
Well, maybe when they see me dancing and I'm old or something, I don't know. So look at the old woman, she's there. I don't know. Or maybe the way I talk to them, maybe the way I teach them.
I think it's inspiration.
Yes, I inspire them.
That there's a possibility to reach the heights that you reached.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I'm teaching, I don't teach like I'm the strict teacher who knows everything. It's like I mother them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You already talked about this, but maybe we can go more detail. The biggest obstacles to your career, the biggest problems for your career.
The Red Troop had a lot of problems. As Ali and Mahmoud and the Red Troop, because the bureaucracy, because of people, clerks, because of the Minister of Cultures and their under secretaries, because of but not because of the audience. No. Mm-hmm. The problem of dancing being bad and being good, it didn't take a long time. Because also the intellectuals stood behind us straight away, wrote about us, the best, best writers in Egypt, newspaper people, personalities,
reporters,
magazines, newspapers, articles. The column writers, they're very famous people and big people, they write about us. We're always in the newspapers, we're always in the magazines, we're always written about us. So they were like, it was a very this period I call the Renaissance. It's a period of Renaissance in Egypt. Until 1967, and then things went bad. But what was the question?
What was the biggest obstacles?
So as far as I told you in the beginning, I'm just dancing and I didn't feel it was even something that's strange.
Yeah.
But fighting bureaucracy and trying to keep the Red Troop and pushing and wanting and asking and doing, and if it wasn't at one time for Gamal Abdel Nasser saying, these people, look after them, he gave an order. Look after these people. I think they would have, So yeah, and he would ask for us especially to perform with Kalsoum in the opera for his guests. And so that was like, Yeah.
Okay, Mahmoud was your choreographer and you were his muse, but outside of that, other dancers or anything, was there any inspiration, maybe not even Egyptian, from outside of Egypt, other dancers that were your inspiration or that influenced you? That you looked to them, you took ideas?
No, ideas, no.
Not a complete idea, but inspiration?
No.
Like maybe a ballet
dancer?
No,
I just tell you, when we were young, we used to go to the movies, we used to see all the MGM musicals. When I was 10, my father, when we were in England, took us to see, what was it? Two places. We went to see Mr. Roberts, because my sister at the time, Mr. Roberts was a comedy, and it was Tyrone Power. My sister was one of these crazy she died young. Okay? She was sick, she had rheumatic fever. And she was recuperating from rheumatic fever. And we all went to England. And the first thing we did, we went to see Mr. Roberts because she was adored something called Tyrone Power. So that was the first day I ever sat in a theater. Then he took us to see the Royal Festival Ballet. And after that, whenever we went to England, the first thing we do, we take, cut all the tickets to see all the musicals. Every musical you can imagine, we watched. So the theater to me was my passion, or I loved as even an audience. Yeah. Even to be in the audience was to me, my heart would beat and I'd be excited because I was sitting up and watching. If you read my article about the the Khadif's opera, the Royal Opera of Egypt, when it was burned. I wrote an article about it. Very nice. Please read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember the first day I went to the opera here in Egypt. And after that we went a lot. So being the theater and the magic of the theater was in also one of the things that but not a specific person.
I think I know the answer to this, but if given the choice, you do it all again?
All. Every single.
The good and the bad?
The good and the bad, because there's no good all the time.
Yeah.
Life is like this. It
And
takes and gives.
You never think of choosing another path.
Hmm?
You never think, oh, if I chose this path,
Oh,
another.
no way. You can't imagine what it is for an Egyptian woman, girl, to have a dream, to dance, okay, and to love the theater, as I told you, the theater and the limelight and all that, and for all the dream to come true. And when I was 6, I knew inside me something, Mommy, don't cry, I'm going to be a big star. I knew it inside me, but I don't know how. And of course, when I was young, I went to a lot of they had a lot of ballet schools. A white Russian lady had a German lady stuff, and I would go to the ballet schools. But let me tell you, I went to this ballet school, right? I was never happy. I learned how to tap dance. I felt that's not me. The ballet, I just felt very weird. And all these schools I went to, I never felt fulfilled. There's something, and I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, I was going to these ballet schools, different dance. I never, no, it was like this. But but my dancing in the house with my grandmother, my Egyptian grandmother, and dancing in the camps and in the house and stuff like this, it was like as soon as I heard the drums and the stuff, I would dance without any being taught. So maybe somehow I knew that I would never be a ballerina or a tap dancer or something. Just didn't
resonate.
So imagine when everything comes to you on a plate, gold plate, and Mahmoud comes, if there was no Mahmoud, if there was no Ali, my husband, if my father was not a typical Egyptian father, had an open mind, 50 years advanced and a genius. Yeah. And my father was an engineer, professor of engineering, and he started the established production engineering section. And he was a painter, and a linguist, and a writer. And he even wrote a book in Arabic language. I mean, he was an amazing man. And so to let me dance in the first place was a miracle. Yeah. And all the family, the big judges and stuff, the uncles and the extended family, how are you going to let your daughter dance? My friends in the school, I used to go to the English school, which was like the best school in Cairo. You're going to be a professional dancer? Wilda? How can you do that? Honestly. But for me, I didn't have to struggle. Everything just came to me. It's unbelievable. What would you call that? The secret.
Fate, kismet, the stars aligned.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.